I'm a fat whale. Sorry.
I say that to myself every morning.
I'm wearing fucking gray. Like, it's extra Shamu-y today.
Yeah.
Even though Shamu was black. I'm like a humpback whale today. Just hang on, let's sound check. I'm like a humpback whale today.
That's good. All right, that should be my
Sound
alarm.
check's good.
Can you record that so I can wake up? Like, that's my alarm sound every morning. It's just you.
You can record it. It's on YouTube now. No one can escape YouTube.
Right.
Hey, ooh. I'm just double checking and making sure. Oh, there we are. All right.
Okay.
Oh, wait. Was that me that said... No, Christopher Goodrich. Hey, guys. It's Buddy Bubba. It's a Buddy Bubba.
It's the Buddy Bubba.
Buddy Bubba's here. Shit, man. Oh.
All right.
I'm so sad because I don't think we'll have... what was his name last week?
Ted Harry.
Ted Harry. If Ted Harry pops in, I'm losing my shit.
The Australian.
Yeah, the Australian...
The Australian Ted Harry.
He's like, I don't feel like listening to Cheeseburger Talk today. Just so you know, Chris, I did not do anything with our Twitter thing, so it's still not going to work. So please don't try, because that I don't want to spend. I don't want you like spending all that energy.
So you titled this Cheeseburgers.
Yeah, well, we mentioned last week we might talk about cheeseburgers,
right?
And I didn't really have shit else to talk about.
So what's weird is today I had 2 cheeseburgers.
You did.
And then yesterday I was listening to the radio and I couldn't escape the song Jimmy Buffett's Cheeseburger in Paradise. It was on like 19 times yesterday.
Oh.
Cheeseburger in Paradise. That,
okay.
you know? You've never heard that song?
No.
Cheeseburger. He has a restaurant. There's restaurants about just for cheeseburger. Jimmy Buffett's Cheeseburger in Paradise restaurant everywhere. You've never heard that song?
No, I've never heard that Cheeseburger in Paradise
It's
song.
an old like 70s song, but it played 19 times yesterday. And we're talking about cheeseburgers today. And I had a bunch of cheeseburgers already this like whole week.
And that song.
Like,
it was in your head or it was on the radio?
No, it was on the radio. Like 19 times it played. I would go to a different station, a song would end, and that song would go back on. Like,
shut up, moobs. Sorry, keep going.
Shut them up. What?
Yeah, I'm shutting up my boobs.
So I don't know. I just think God is saying we need to talk about cheeseburgers.
Oh. Well, so yeah. So I mean, we can talk about other stuff, but I mean, I figured
just
for the title today. Cheeseburgers. So yeah, so I guess we could talk about like incredible cheese. I don't know if you have incredible cheeseburger stories, but I could talk about cheeseburgers because Christopher Goodrich, more like cheese sandwich in Jay's sandwich shop. Is he talking about like someday if I make grilled cheeses a thing? I think about it. There's that little building on 6. It's a gray building, and it's just out towards Casey's West.
Okay, yeah. No,
It's got a for rent thing, and I'm like, that'd be a nice size for a little sandwich shop. But then I'd want something downtown because then you could just walk sandwiches to people.
Yeah.
All over the place. In fact, I was actually thinking today how great it would be to no walk-ins, no orders. You just like delivery only. I will deliver anyone downtown a sandwich.
Wow.
But the rest of the people, fuck you. It sounds like a bad idea, but also like I feel like the downtown would service pretty well.
But that's commitment though.
Yeah.
That is leaving your post every 10-20 minutes.
Uh-huh.
And not being able to get...
Well, so you carry your phone with you. Like my phone number would be the main phone number, and then I would just carry it with me. I don't know. So cheeseburgers, right? Mm-hmm. So I used to live in Wisconsin, Platteville.
Yeah.
That's where I went to school. It's just on the border, like right past Dubuque, like 20 minutes past Dubuque. And they had 2 restaurants with cheeseburgers that were like amazing. Okay, and they both involved cheese curds. All right. The first one was what they called the Wisconsin Pride. This restaurant doesn't exist anymore, by the way. So sorry, any of you all who want the Wisconsin Pride. But this thing, like, first of all, it was like a half-pound patty.
Okay.
Might have been a whole pound patty. I don't.
Interested.
So you get this big ass burger patty, and they mix into it cheese curds, and then they bread it, and they fry it, and then they throw more cheese on top.
I would have a heart attack and enjoy it.
Oh my god! I ate about 3/4 of it, and I was just like grease sweating, like the meat sweats. It was the best cheeseburger.
That's the best type of sweat.
And but at the same time, like that's a commitment burger. Like, you have to commit yourself for the rest of the night to feel like shit.
Yeah.
There's no feeling good after that cheeseburger. So then I'm like, okay, F it. I this is just too much of a burger for me. But I found another one. God damn it! I just realized that this place is closed too. There's this restaurant in Platteville called Chicago's Best. And they had these really good kettle chips, and they had like a honey mustard dipping sauce. And then you would get this burger called the Curd Burger, and this thing was like the best. This was my favorite because it's like the Wisconsin Pride dish, but not like overkill. So it's like just a normal like 1/3 pound patty, couple onion rings on top, and then about 3 or 4 cheese curds in the middle of those onion rings. Like, those onion rings just basically hold the cheese curds in, and then you just throw some ketchup on that bad boy, and you just go to town. Those were my favorite cheeseburgers. Chicago's Best burned down.
Oh, did it?
Yeah, this is okay. So this is another fun story. So I'm about to get me a curd burger. I'm starving. I came back. I worked for production services on campus there. So we'd do anything, like we'd set up anywhere from like small business meetings to like rock concerts and Broadway shows coming through. So it could be anywhere from like a half an hour work to like the entire day. Like the first day I started, we set up this show. It was a Broadway touring show that came through, and I started working at 5 a.m. and I got a small break at like 5 to like 9, where that was, like I watched the shows. I went out to dinner. I watched the show once, went out to dinner, and then we came back and we struck the set until about 3 a.m. So I was basically working from like 5 to 3. That was my birthday.
Really?
Yeah, that sucked ass. But it was a fun job. So anyways, we're working for production services. We have to show up a day early, or a week early. Did it turn into a man versus food sandwich? Kinda. Well, it was actually featured on like a Wisconsin PBS channel or something.
Oh, really?
The Wisconsin Pride was. So anyway, so I'm working. So we have to show up a week early, and we have to work to train and go through a whole training session. So the first day we're back, we're doing our training, and we're like, we need to go out for lunch. And so we're going, we're all like, okay, let's go to Chicago's Best. And I'm like, oh yeah, I'd kill for a curd burger right now and some kettle chips. And so we all start heading downtown. Chicago's Best was also a pizza place. Start heading downtown. It is on the bar street. Platteville has an entire street just dedicated to bars. Just all bars.
That's
one whole street. So we start going there, and it's on that bar street, and we just see smoke pouring out of downtown, and we're all like, oh shit, what's on fire? And my buddy Tim looks over at me and he goes, hope it's not Chicago's Best. It was Chicago's Best. we all get up and we're like, no! And then we look at Tim and we're like, fuck you! And Tim's like, oh my god, oh no, I had no idea, guys. He's like, I'm so sorry. He was so upset. We held it against him.
Was it more of a feeling of anger or heartbreak?
Heartbreak.
We
were all heartbroken. And they never rebuilt. So then the restaurant we went to had the Wisconsin Pride, which I did not eat because I was working that day. I was like, I can't be disabled. So I just had like a hot dog or something, and then that restaurant actually closed down, and they put an A&W on top of it. You went to that A&W,
that
right?
A&W,
Yeah. That's actually owned by, and the restaurant there before was owned by the guy who owns the movie theater next to it. There's like a sixplex, and it's so sad that is gone. Though my wife did not like that restaurant at all. She like refused to eat there. But I love that restaurant because they had like Chicago dogs and shit like that, and they had movie posters everywhere.
There's where the divide is between you and your wife.
There's a lot of divide when it comes to food. There's a lot of divides between me and my wife. Let's break this down for a minute, okay? First of all, she doesn't like Asian food. I have to go get that shit myself.
She doesn't like Asian food.
Yeah, I know. So she'll eat like stir fry, but that shit is it.
That sentence just hurt me. I have never heard that before.
Yeah, it's hard. It's heartbreaking. So then she also she's like very health conscious. You know that, and she'll do things where she'll be like baking cookies, and then she'll be like, "Hey, I put wheat flour into the cookies," and I'm like, "They're cookies. Like they're not meant to be healthy. Just eat less cookies." And save the rest for me.
Yeah.
Like, stop trying to make cookies. I get infuriated. So that's the divide between my wife and I on that level, which is fine. It's whatever. It's whatever. It's fuck it, whatever. So, anyways, yeah.
I thought that place.
She hated that place though because it was greasy.
I remember when we went to Platteville, like for the first time, and we were trying to find a fucking restaurant. You're like, "Hey, let's go here." Closed. "Hey, let's go here." Closed.
No, we were going to the Cajun place.
Yeah.
Did you hear what happened?
No.
They fucking like middle of the night left. Like the whole restaurant, they just left. They fled the country. Apparently, they were like illegal immigrants. And they were someone was onto them, and they just left. It's the same thing that happened to, I guess, the Greek restaurant, or no, Italian restaurant here, I think was the same thing.
Italian restaurant.
There was an Italian restaurant here for like a good 6 months. That was amazing. Like their lasagna was good. They had good tiramisu. Like they were Italian. Like they were Italian. And they came up to my brother-in-law and I. They're like, "Hey, how's it going?" Like they were like, "Ah," and then they middle of the night left.
See, I'm okay with people leaving for certain reasons or being deported for certain reasons until you get to the food level. If we got some awesome ass Italians who are making awesome food,
we need to get
leave them alone.
We need to get them some pizzas. What's crispy? You should have said, "I'm happy. I'm a heavy guy and love his cookies the way they were supposed to be made." Damn Skippy.
Damn Skippy.
So yeah, we oh man, I just that was sucky because we showed up and they were closed. And I was so excited to show you this place.
Yeah.
Because I'm most of Platteville's food is really good, but that was different than anything we could get in Grinnell. Was that a Cajun themed food place?
Right.
Platteville, I feel like they have similar things to Grinnell, and in some levels, their Asian food quality is high. Their pizza quality is very mid-tier. They have a Chicago-style pizza place that's good, but it's, it's not. You can't beat Casey's Pizza, and you can't beat Polly Ice Pizza.
Okay,
in my own opinion, unless you're in Chicago.
Just having this conversation about Casey's Pizza. Do you remember when the recipe was different and it was 100 times better until we got to, Casey's Pizza.
I don't remember that.
Used to be because before we got all health conscious and stuff, and Casey's Pizza was so much better. 10 years ago.
I guess it depends on probably who makes your pizza too. Because sometimes if you get the good pizza cook, they'll just cheese the shit out of your pizza. But then you get the newer people and they just add a little thin layer of cheese. They're they don't want to be in trouble, so they're and you're this is not Casey.
Have you noticed that the places that are usually the best places to eat are the ones that go out of business first?
Yeah. Well, because it's just this idea of niche niche marketing and stuff, it only works to a certain extent. Like if it's extremely unique, you're also hitting a very extremely unique group of people. So then that lowers the amount. When you hit like a wide spread of people, like pizza, everybody loves pizza.
Yeah.
You don't love pizza, I'm sorry. The rest of the country loves pizza. Fucking shit. Oh shit. Sorry. So then, you get stuff like that, but cheeseburgers, same thing, Mexican, Asian. Those are your basics. But once you start breaking it down, like Italian kind of always gets tacked on with a pizza place, which is unfortunate. And then
so yeah, pizza right now is Americanized. Like
oh yeah, 100%.
Few.
Well, so the origin of people talk about like China being the origin of pizza, which okay, you can debate that if you want. But like the original idea in the Italian pizza, and the reason why they call it a pizza pie is because it was a pie of just their leftover shit. They always had tomatoes left over. They always had garlic left over. They always had cheese left over. And they would have to cook it. So they would just make this big ass pizza pie, and that would be their leftovers. And they'd be like, oh, I guess we're having pizza tonight. And then like Americans got pizza and we're like, fuck yes! This is the best thing ever! And we just started doing crazy shit with pizza all the time.
Do you like deep dish pizza?
Depends.
Have you ever had Uno's deep dish pizza?
Uno's?
Yeah.
Where did you go to Uno's?
There was an Uno's in, I want to say it was either it wasn't New York. Washington D.C. Union Station. There was an Uno's.
There's an Uno's in Platteville.
Is there?
Yeah. That's the one I was talking about, the deep dish pizza. It's okay. It's not. I mean, I've had Chicago pizza, like downtown.
Yeah. No.
And so I'm like
New York pizza is fucking amazing if you get it right. If you, again, I always have to ask. You haven't been to New York, right?
No.
Okay. So I'm gonna remember that sometime, so I don't have to ask again. But when you go to if in New York, which pizza across the country is so different than the other places. But when you ask for pizza in New York, you get a cheese pizza. They say, like, cheese pizza is what you get. If you want pepperoni, well, the pizza I had, we had a large cheese pizza, $30 plus pepperoni, made it $32. Okay, and then we had a we had a margarita pizza, and that was like even more expensive. It's just they make it like cheese, and then every topping is like an extra $2 on top of that. And it's really good. And then like the pizza, New York style pizza is really flat.
Yeah.
Really thin crust. And
I have a recipe for some of that. Like a double-decker New York style pizza.
Yeah.
I just don't have a cooking stone. Like I need a big ass baking stone.
Mm-hmm.
I love a wood oven pizza, but
and then like
or wood oven to make a pizza in. Sorry. Keep going.
Like in Chicago's probably my favorite style though. Chicago pizza. Just loaded. Always loaded, heavy pizza.
They have this deep dish pizza in Chicago that I can't remember the name of the place. They were looking at actually bringing it to they had a vote that was like Omaha, Iowa, Texas, or Miami. Fucking Omaha won. And now I'm boycotting Omaha. My wife's like, we could go to Omaha. And I'm like, no! They did not take it to Des Moines. I am not eating this shit. And she's like, shit, you were excited. I'm like, fuck you! Not you, my wife, but you, the pizza! I was so excited. And it was like something with a G, and it's so good. Like, we had it in Chicago. I could actually probably...
Geno's?
Yeah, it might be Geno's. So, okay, so it's downtown Chicago.
Mm-hmm. So
here's the thing. Okay, let's go back 2009, 2010-ish.
Okay.
I'm still at Iowa Valley. I'm checking out Chicago. I actually got accepted to school in Chicago, to a film school.
Oh, yeah?
I got accepted to go to a film school. Couldn't afford it. But anyways, that's skipping forward. We're going to skip back. We're going to visit the school, right? We take my grandma's car out there. My grandma's in Minnesota for the weekend with my grandpa with their truck. Take my grandma's car out to Chicago. My mom, my dad, and I. We have a whole plan. My mom saved up all this money. We were going to go to Improv Olympic. We were going to have the best time ever. Because that was another thing I wanted to do, was go to the Improv Olympic and become a comedian there.
Yeah.
So we drive out there, right? And I'm like, you know, we're having a good time. We go check out the school. And my dad parks. That was another thing. We almost died like 6 times because we kept getting led into a tunnel, which then the GPS stops working, and we all of a sudden we're driving the wrong way down a one-way, and everyone's like honking at us, and we're like, oh, we can fucking tell. Thank you. We know we're going the wrong way. When your lights are blaring at us, you don't need to honk. So we finally get turned around because everyone stopped and was like, cool. So we get turned around. We get back up, and we park in the only spot we can find. No signs anywhere at eye level.
Mm-hmm.
Go into the school. Start touring the school. Another really funny thing. So, there's me, another white blonde girl, and a black guy touring the school. Right? You see my dad, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. So, black guy gets a black counselor. White girl gets a white lady counselor. We get the Mexican counselor. If you see my dad, he looks suspect. He's got like a full-on he's got super curly hair. He's very dark. My dad's full-blood German, looks Mexican. It's the funniest thing. My mom had no idea. My dad and I are like, we just got profiled. And Mom's like, what? We're like, Mom, look, black guy, black family, white girl, white family, Mexican guy. And Mom goes, oh. So we tour the school and we come out. My grandma's car is gone.
Okay.
We're like, oh shit.
So I got towed.
Start looking up. At the top, we're under the L, and at the top of the L there's a sign that says tow zone. These fuckers.
Oh man.
Oh, and I turn and I see another tow guy. First of all, this guy's got the happiest look. Like, this guy loves his job. Like, he is the happiest person I've ever seen towing. And second of all, they have these tow things. So, like, it's got a little pole, and it goes out like this. And they've got little things to just go right under your car, lift it up, gone. They ninja jacked our car. Not our car, my grandma's car. Weekend plans ruined. So we go, we get a cab to take us to the tow yard. I have to run back into the school to figure out where they took my car, or my grandma's car. So I start running in. Hot chick starts walking by. Iowa senses, I open the door for her. She just goes and walks in, and I'm like, any other time, damn it! And I just start running in.
Any other time.
So I start running in. I was single back then. I run in, and the guy tells us, so that we take a cab all the way over to where it's a massive tow lot. Like, there's thousands of cars there.
Mm-hmm.
They tell us, it's a Saturday, they tell us that we won't be able to get the car back until we get them a notarized signature from the owner. That being my grandma in fucking Minnesota.
That is a tough break.
Yeah, well, my mom works for the city. And her boss is a notary. So she's like, worked for the city, was a notary. I don't think her boss even works for the city anymore. I'm not going to say who, I'm not going to say what, I'm not going to say how. But I'm going to say that we got a notarized signature from the owner by the threat of my mom saying, if you want me in on Monday, this has got to be notarized.
So did you got the car on the same day then?
Yeah, we got the car back hours. Hours
Oh yeah,
later.
Processes would have been so long. Was there a shit ton of people there too? Like in line in front of you?
Not a shit ton actually. There's probably 5 or 6. Couple crying mothers. It was. It's a garbage play. I was so fucking pissed. So we get my grandma's car back. Well, okay, so we've got to wait for the notarized signature though. So we have to wait for hours. So they take us downtown, and we go to, I want to say it was a Giordano's or something like that, or is that a frozen pizza? I don't know. So we go to this Chicago pizza place. We're shelling out $300 to $400 just to get the car back.
Right.
So we go to this pizza place downtown, and that was our joy. That's what we got from Chicago. And my parents back her to the window. And then I'm looking at the window. And this place is packed wall to wall. I just see this guy walk by. And he's got this gash across his head. This humongous gash.
Fucking Chicago.
He walks by and he's like, ugh. And I'm like, what the fuck is that? And my parents turn around to look and he's gone. Like past the window. So my parents are like, what? And I was like, this guy just walked by with this huge gash on his head. They're like, okay. So we go back to eating pizza. Best pizza of our lives, by the way. And then this lady and this husband in like a wedding dress and a tuxedo.
Okay, this is starting to sound like you're just really high the entire time.
Well, no, they walk by with these big gashes across their face. And they're like, ugh. They're just, And I'm like, the fuck is going on? And my parents turn around and they're past the window. So they think I'm nuts. And then I'm like, look across the street. There's a lady with a baby stroller and she's got a big gash too. And my parents, like, they don't quite see her and she walks by. And they're like thinking like, I'm going crazy. And then all of a sudden a horde of people just start going by the windows all fucked up and mashed up and shit. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? My parents see it. They're like, oh my God. And we go outside. A group of people dressed as zombies. Like a giant group of people dressed as zombies and just stormed the streets for fun. Like, that's what sold me on moving to Chicago. Like, if I could live in Chicago still today, I'm like, that's the pizza and the zombies. My mom like goes out to like take pictures and like this guy walks up and he's like, ah! My mom's like, I got the picture, go away! Go! And he's just like, ah! And walks away. And it was, I mean, it was so cool, but it was
That's
like
awesome.
My parents are like, what the fuck is he doing? Like, what's
so were they you didn't find out they were just it was like a flash mob or some shit?
Yeah, it was like a giant flash mob dressed as zombies on this day at this time and just stormed the streets of Chicago. And then like at the end of the day, you know, we finally get the car back and we're like, okay, whatever. Weekend at Bernie's, 3J goes to Chicago. Yeah, exactly. Do you know pizza was first made in Greece, but more known for in Italy? Oh, I've heard China. That's what they've told me is China.
See, that's what I heard too. That people.
I don't know the credibility and why. Because
some people, where I've heard it from, are just random people off the street. I've never like looked it up or anything.
Yeah.
You know, so.
So anyways, we were supposed to go to the Improv Olympic. We were supposed to have like a big weekend in Chicago. My mom was like so excited, and then we ended up like just going back to the hotel, eating dinner at Fridays, and then watching Paul Blart Mall Cop in the hotel. Like we were like, fuck this, we're done with this shit. Like we didn't want to go out again because we were like, what if the car goes? And like we had no money because we spent it all getting the car back. So we're like, okay.
Do you have a lot of like bad luck for when you travel, or does it usually go pretty smooth for you?
Yeah, it usually goes pretty smooth, I would say. But that one weekend, and I think it was just sort of like, maybe it was a sign that Chicago was never meant to be. Because the one downside of Chicago was they wanted me, okay, this film school was great and all. What they would do is they would send you, at the end of your senior year, you would go to a like sort of a crafts fair or something. No, so you go to like a crafts fair or something, and crafts fair. What the fuck am I talking about? A career fair.
Yeah.
And people would scout you with your senior project, and they would hire you, and then on the contract of getting hired, you would pay off part of your student loans, or you'd pay off your student loans. So they would take out just a certain percentage of your check every day you were working for this new job, as long as you were hired through them.
I see.
So I'm like, that's a genius idea. I don't know why that still doesn't happen. I mean, just all over what I'm saying. But so we go. So the downside was those that, like, you would have a curfew of like, I want to say it was like 9 on the weekdays and like 10:30 on weekends, and you would live in this dorm tower, which was like a skyscraper in Chicago. Mm-hmm. You would have to live in this dorm tower. And because of that dorm tower, the rates were so high, I was like, I could not afford to go. And like the student loans, they wouldn't even like let me fill out student loans to get enough to go. that I would have to have a co-signer to be able to go. And the only person who was really qualified enough to be my co-signer would be my sister. And she's like, and I get it now, and I'm actually really glad that she did this. But back then I was a little annoyed. Was she was like, Dave Ramsey says you never co-sign for someone.
Mm-hmm.
And it makes sense. I back then I'm like, I'm your brother. Yeah, I didn't say that to her. She's watching this now. She's probably like, what the fuck? But like, back then I was upset, but now I'm like thankful because of the fact that like I worked on a movie set when they came through in town. That was shitty. Like that was really hard. Like it was like 12-hour shifts, 6 days a week. You work your ass off straight and then it's done, and you never know. Like movies and TV and film and all that and theater, that's all like a nomad's job.
Right.
It's just you go where the work is. So I'm really thankful, but it was radically expensive. Like it was nuts.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me. But yeah, Chicago. It was a crazy experience.
So where for the sign, was it like on a wire or something?
No, there was a pole there, but because it was a support beam for the L, but it was like at the top.
Oh.
That's where the sign was at the top of this pole. It was just like, and I'm like, my dad and I are like, what the fuck? Like, are you fucking kidding me? Like that's purely entrapment to me. That's entrapment.
Should be illegal.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. But those tow guys love their job. That's why that guy looks so happy to be towing.
See, that's where you get into the point where you wonder if they're trying to fake it until they make it. You know, the whole thing, if you smile more every day, you're going to feel happier.
I personally think they got bonuses per every car they brought in. Because he was like, I'm bringing home the meat and potatoes. Like, yeah. It was weird. Man,
if that's the case, then fucking Chicago would be the best place to be as the tow truck driver.
Hey, I'm getting pizza later. That was an experience. That was tough and rough, and I'm super glad that. Oh my god! So I'm trying out Discord. I'm not liking it right now because I'm just getting message after message after message of someone talking to someone else.
Oh yeah. I have joined. I was at a party. One of my friend's birthday parties was Saturday, and I was sitting there, and my buddy, he's just total redneck military guy, and well, I mean, I'm pretty redneck too when you think about it. But anyways, he was sitting there. He's like laughing at his phone or something. He goes, "I'm gonna invite you to this message." Because we have Messenger or whatever from Facebook. Yeah. And he's like, I'm going to add you to this group. And so I joined the group. And literally all it is the dumbest things you could ever fucking think of. And there's a lot. There's just one guy that's part of the group. All he does is send like sex things that go wrong or are weird. Just like weird. I don't even want to say it. Like that we've found a line.
We found a line. I would say we explored the line yesterday.
I don't know if I want to explore it this much.
Yesterday we explored the line.
But I don't know. I need your okay to say what the video was. Like to describe it. One of the videos. So the most disgusting thing I ever saw was just joining this message group, and I instantly regretted joining it because one of the first videos that popped up was this girl giving another guy a blowjob. The guy comes and it shoots out her nose. And that was like my first experience of this messaging board. Oh my god,
that's disgusting.
And I was like, all right, I'm gonna give it a little bit longer, and I might back out. I might stay in. I don't know. I haven't backed out yet because they redeemed themselves. But,
okay. I'm disturbed.
But public messaging places are just can be very because people can add you into a group chat without you even wanting to be added in.
So my cousin did that one time where she like made a whole like Facebook group.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, and then said nothing, and everyone was like, "What is this?" Like she even named the group, and I can't remember what she named it, but it was something like ridiculous. And we're like, what is this? And why are we on this group?
Yeah.
And she was just like, just wanted to have fun or whatever. And we're like, okay, bye. like it was just, I don't know. Like, I just, you don't have, messengers obnoxious.
Do you have, like Verizon or US Cellular or what?
I got US Cellular.
Okay, do you hate, I hope you get the same, if you get a text message, okay, again, is that an iPhone? I don't even.
No, that's a Samsung.
Okay. I hate getting fucking put into group chat on US Cellular and Androids because the group chat, you get like all the different messages from everybody, but separately and stuff.
Yeah,
and just ping,
I
ping,
wish
ping,
they could
ping.
fix that. Like,
yeah,
because like iPhones, I think they do like.
You can
like
go into the whole group and see the messages.
Yeah, but
so,
on Android, it's like completely separate.
And then I had a phone a couple of years ago that, for some reason, for every message that would send to me, I would get that same message. So if you sent to me hello, and there was 3 other people on our chat, I would get your hello for me, your hello for them, the other 3 other people.
Oh, that's so annoying.
And then I would get their response, and I would get 4 different responses of the same message. And so my phone would just go, voop, 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 voop. I'd be like, it's one person saying one thing, but I just got 4 different messages.
You can't opt out of it.
I couldn't. No, part. I had to say, hey, take me off of this goddamn thing. It's 3 a.m. I'm trying to sleep. I'm getting 18 different messages every 2 minutes.
Yeah, I have a friend who he sends like a group message out, and he'll say Merry Christmas every year, and then I get everyone's response, whether or not I know those people.
Yeah.
Like, Merry Christmas to you too, or Happy Thanksgiving. And they'll be like, Happy Thanksgiving to you too. No idea who this person is. And I'm like, what? Like, it throws me off. Okay, let's read some. We got Christopher Goodrich goodness here. Let's read some of the. Okay. Weekend at Burnt. Yep. Okay. At Michael's in Tama, on back of their menu is a pizza fax and says Grease. Oh. Okay, that's what he said. Okay, and then this show is now R-rated. Yes. Yeah. I've dropped the F-bomb like 30 times today. Fuck. I'm in a mood. I am in a mood today. I woke up this morning and I was like, fuck everything. Like, first of all, my alarm woke me up. Like, it was out of dead sleep. It woke me up. And I'm like... And then I streamed today, and not one single fucking person watched me. I was so upset. I was like... I was playing my... So in the morning, around 9 to 10, I get a good group of people to come in and watch me on play Red Dead Redemption. That's the most luck I've had. Today, not a damn person. Not a damn person. So, I don't know. Something's going on with my audio card. So, I'm just trying to make it out in this world, and it's getting harder and harder for a guy who's on Twitch.
The whole thing is so saturated and shit that...
Yeah, well, that's the one thing I like. Someone straight out said, like, Twitch is it's very busy anymore. Like, there's a lot more Twitch streamers than there used to be. And I'm like, 3 years ago, I was in the middle of that rise. And I thought, I was doing pretty good. I played Fallout 3 and I had a lot of people. But back then, you had to have a lot more people watching you to get anything out of it. Now, you only have to have like 3 people watching you at a time, on average, to be able to get to affiliate level, which then gives you a subscription button. People can give you bits. And then you can like do other things. You can actually make money off of it. But I'm still like, you got to find the right game. But I also want to beat Red Dead Redemption.
I remember the early days of Twitch when there was like 5 big guys and then just a bunch of really like a lot smaller people.
Yeah.
And like the early days of YouTube. First of all, the early days of YouTube, my mom told me never to go on YouTube because it was dangerous and people were like, it is just totally inappropriate. But all I watched was just like Alvin and the Chipmunks covers of songs. You know how they have like regular songs and they just redo it with Alvin and the Chipmunk voice. But I just wish I got into YouTube or Twitch or any of this in the early days and had built up before it got so big.
I just got all this fucking equipment that I want to pay for at some point, you know. And I still want to get more stuff. Like I want to get a wireless card. I want to get like, I don't know. I'd love to get a new PC. I'd love to get a new PC.
Hey, I never noticed. Is that the comment thing on the upper left? Is that all comments?
Yeah, I just added that last week.
I didn't notice that.
It was here.
Right.
And then I put it there. Because it just, like, we actually had a couple of good talkers.
Can you change the, like font or color?
I've been trying. YouTube chat's a little more complicated than Twitch chat. Twitch chat goes off of CSS code. So as long as you look up the CSS code, you can make it happen. YouTube is a little bit different. So I've been working on it. Like I don't know. It's not CSS code for sure. Or if it is, it's a different style. Like, it's a pain in the ass is what it is. Because I tried doing a whole bunch of CSS code, and this is what came out.
I can't read that. There's no way.
Well, that's why I bring up my phone, and then I just... Jay, let's break the South Park record of saying fucks in an episode.
Fuck. You can't do it. You can't do it by just simply saying fuck, though. Like...
Do you remember the shit episode? Where they actually got to say shit on air?
Yes.
And then they said it like... How many times did they say it? Like 200?
I don't know.
They had a counter for every time they said shit in the corner. You can still watch that episode.
Oh, yeah. I do remember that.
But they said it on... Like, on that night... Like, specifically why they're doing that was because on that night that episode premiered, Comedy Central gave them permission to say the word shit on air. And so they said
ran
shit
with it
as many times as they could, and they did a counter in the corner. Like, they're like, shitty shit, shit, shitty shit, shit, shit. And that was one of the funniest things I've ever seen. Like, and just the fact that, you know, like, the guy who decided to give these guys the answer yes is just going, oh, fuck. And yet South Park is still one of the biggest properties today.
Yeah. I think South Park has done so many amazing things. Like when Obama became president, and that night he became president, like he not became president, but was elected. They had like one of two ways to go with McCain or Obama, and just instantly had an Obama one come out. And
well, so it only takes them about a week to make an episode.
Yeah.
So what they probably did was make 2 episodes and then just aired the Obama one.
Yeah, I know that. It's just the fact that they made 2 episodes.
Yeah.
In a week.
It's shmamazing. They're shmamazing.
Do you watch Rick and Morty?
Yes. Yeah.
You're one of those people too.
I love Rick and Morty.
See,
did you get any Szechuan sauce? Have you gone and got you some Szechuan?
No, is that at McDonald's?
They said they announced. So have you heard the whole Szechuan?
See, I
from last time
was literally watching something on Facebook. You know Brian Redband?
Nope.
He had got some Szechuan sauce, and I was watching his whole reaction to it and everything. I don't know what started the whole thing.
Well, so on the April Fool's Day episode, Rick goes back into his memory, and he decides to go back to 1990 whatever, when they had the Moulange McDonald's Szechuan sauce, and he says, he goes, now that I know that I'm going to go back to this time and get me some Szechuan sauce. He goes, because I want some Szechuan sauce. And the joke was that Justin Roiland was a huge fan of Szechuan sauce. He was always talking about how he wished he could get some more of that Moulange Szechuan sauce. So they wrote it into the show. And so he goes back into his memory to get that Szechuan sauce. So everyone's like, hashtag we want our Szechuan sauce. McDonald's come out with it. So McDonald's finally caved last year in October. This was the weekend my wife's sister was getting married. And I'm like, any other day I could just go to McDonald's and get some Szechuan sauce. But it turns out that even at the big stores, they only gave them 7 packets each store. The smaller ones would get 3. And those were in big cities only. So then, hundreds of people show up to every McDonald's expecting Szechuan sauce. They hand out their 3 fucking packets, and everyone flipped their shit. They were like, where's my Szechuan sauce? They just start flipping out throwing shit at employees, started yelling at them, calling them the worst human beings ever, really making them even more depressed for McDonald's employees.
The only reason is for Rick and Morty, too. That's
yeah, and so, I mean, first of all, don't act like an asshole to McDonald's employees, okay? I can tell you what, I've actually been, I go in, I've seen them fuck up my burgers. I'll say, oh, hey, just letting you know this was a little fucked up. I don't want you to change it. I'm just warning you just in case. And they'll be like, oh, bro, thanks. And then, I'll be like, oh, shit, I forgot to buy ice cream. I wanted an ice cream cone. And they're like, just have it, man. Because I'm so nice. I'm just nice to the McDonald's people. They just gave me an ice cream cone. So I was like, fuck yeah, that's how you want to treat your McDonald's employees. Right. They're just people. That's all they are. They're people who are having a shitty day at their rough job. And you just gotta work any service industry job. But second of all, McDonald's, what were you thinking? 3 packets? 7? Who did you think was gonna show up? I guess if you think about it though, the demographic, there's probably gonna be.
Is Szechuan sauce? Is that just for chicken nuggets?
160 times he said they said shit. What?
That just for chicken nuggets?
Yeah, it's a chicken nugget dipping sauce. That was promotional material for the movie Milan.
Is it just Asian?
It's a very specific recipe that McDonald's came out with that.
So
but it was for Milan, and apparently it was really good.
Isn't Szechuan sauce an actual Asian sauce that McDonald's?
Yeah, there is an actual Asian.
Fucked up royally though. They turned it into something completely Americanized, and
probably
that's what I heard that it was.
But Justin Roiland says it's the shit. So everyone wanted to. Anyone who's watched Rick and Morty wanted to try it, and now McDonald's was like, "Okay, we're doing it again this time, but we have plenty of sauce for you guys." And so hopefully there's plenty of sauce out there. I don't know because that was
they're doing it down here at this one.
I'm planning on finding out at some point.
I'm gonna find out before work, which I have to leave.
You should.
Here.
You gotta leave here soon, don't you? You said 50, right?
Yep.
So we should probably sign off here, guys. If you wanna check us out at Catchy JD everywhere that matters.
Darian048. Also, I'm not going to be here March 10th through the 17th.
Okay. So that's, what day do you leave? What day of the week?
It's a Saturday, and I should be getting back on a Sunday.
So, are you still game for this Wednesday? This upcoming Wednesday?
Yes.
Okay, because that's... Okay, so we're going to do next Wednesday. But then we're going to skip the next week. And then we'll be back.
I swear to God, if I end up just not going again on my vacation that I planned, I'm going to be pissed.
Well, you know how funny it was? That fucked us up for a month. Yeah. Because I went on a cruise. And then I thought you were on a cruise. And then I thought you were on a cruise again. Because I was like, oh, how's your cruise? And you're like, I haven't even left yet. We leave this day. And I'm like, oh shit. And then I thought you were left again. And then you never left. And then I was sick. And then all that other shit. So, okay. So we'll have this upcoming Wednesday. We'll be here. 3 o'clock-ish. We're gonna hit it. But Darian's got to go. He's got a job to do. I probably ought to work out.
You will. Not oughta.
And then we're gonna do our day. I was gonna hang out with a friend, but he's having car troubles. So he said he may not be able to hang out. And I was like, damn it. So maybe I'll just go to Hy-Vee and just hang out with you. Yeah. It's just stand there, just watch you. What do you do now? Are you doing kitchen? Yeah. Are you making tenderloins? Yeah, I'll just be like, it's a good looking tenderloin the whole time.
Should have been there yesterday. $5 tenderloin Tuesday.
$5 tenderloins. And
they're fucking this goddamn big.
I'm doing a good job right now of being on a diet.
I'm not.
I am working out and I'm trying really hard. But yeah. So okay guys, catch us next week. You can follow me at JAYDiehm, DIEHM. So die everywhere that matters. Check me out. Hit me up on Twitch this week if you get a chance. Please. I can use the company. I was so upset this morning. Okay, so we're gonna take off. Chris, thanks for joining us on the chat. Tell your friends. Share us with friends, Chris. What is he gonna say? Hopefully I can hang out with you, Darian, sometime and met you for the first time, Jay. Damn Skippy. So yeah. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.